Yeah, so we are starting the session now. You will be able to see the screen. And the screen itself, you'll be seeing YouTube, upstox.com. So this is the website, the new website that we have launched. So on the website itself, you'll be seeing the pictures of our platform. So you'll see the mobile version as well as the web version. So on this website itself, we have given a link. So you will see the link over here. This is called Upstox Pro Web. So before starting the session, let me introduce myself. My name is Orpheus Almeida. I am a part of the product research and development team. So the motive of this video is like we got questions from most of our users saying that they wanted to know how to use the software and what all features we are looking for. They are looking forward. We're looking forward to bring into Upstox as well. There are a few things which are we have introduced newly, something called as a code panel. So all those things we needed to explain. So that's the reason we are recording this video, and it's a live webinar. So as I said previously, if you have anything to comment or anything to say, you can just write in the comment sections below. And we'll be replying in there and there itself. So let us start with the webinar. If you can see my screen, I have written the link name as pro.upstox.com. So this is the URL to the website, the web version. So in this, if you can see that we have a login page, and below that you'll be seeing two more options. These are the mobile apps. We have one designed for Android as well as an iOS. So from yesterday, the iOS app was available in App Store. So if you wish to download it from a Play Store or an App Store, you can just type Upstox and it will give you the desired results. So let us start with the webinar first. So I'll just log in into my account. So the login process is very simple. Uh, you just enter your client ID followed by the password that you are using. If you are a customer of RKSV, so in that case, whatever password you use for Nest, that same password you need to use it over here. So I'll use mine. Once you click on the login button, it will take you to the second page, which is the two-factor verification. This is required from the exchange. So this is a mandate. So we have just simplified it very simple. We are just asking for the year of birth. So you just need to enter your year of birth. And this is something that we wanted to keep it simple because sometimes it is like very difficult to know. If you're using Nest, in that we asked nearly 2 questions each time. So that is sometimes time consuming. So if you see, the login process is very fast. I just clicked on it and it took me to the 2FA page. So I'll just input my year of birth. I click on the verify button, and now it is taking me to the home page. So this is my home page. If you can see, I have various small widgets, and these are fixed widgets. You cannot move them as of now. So on the left hand side, you'll see a list kind of a widget, which is actually a watch list. So this watch list is where uh, you will be like entering all the script names. So if I have like, I only trade on like 10 scripts. So I only want to see those scripts. So you can create a watch list and you can add those scripts in this list. So we will be covering that session first. Then in the center, you'll see something called as chart. So this is a chart widget. So normally people who use charting for their analysis, all the technical studies are available into this charting. So here the chart thing will be, I will be adding the chart section into this, and we will be plotting some indicators, some study lines, some drawing tools, and I'll show you what all intervals are there. So this will be the second session. And then we have a order book and a trade book. So this is a combined widget. So order book is basically when you place any of the orders, so it will show you the status and what was the entry that you put. So the status will be like completed, rejected, or if it's open or it's trigger pending, and the price and everything. Then on the right hand side, we have something called as quote panel. So quote panel is a very new feature that we have added. It is something called as speed trading as well. So this I will be explaining, like the fourth thing. And then we have positions and holdings. So if there are any futures positions, option positions, or any intraday positions, then it will be reflecting in this particular position book. And then we have a holding section. So holding section is something where the demat holdings, if you're carrying something for a long term, so this is a place where it will show you the holdings. So let us start one by one with each and everything. So on the left, I have a watch list. So I already have one watch list which says hot stocks. So I will just click on the word hot stocks, and a particular list will allocate a drop down. I need to create one watch list as of now. So what I'll do is like I'll click on the add button over here. If you can see, I click on the add button. So I'll get a new field which says enter watch list name. So I will give some name to this. So say like top stocks. So I have written top stocks. Once I enter the name, I'll click on the done button. And if you can see, it has added top stocks into the list. Now, if I want to modify this particular any of the watch list names, I can click on the edit button. If I click on the edit button, I can just click here. I want to like edit the watch list names. I can just like backspace top, or like best stocks. And if I want to, I can click the done button. But before that, if I want to delete something, delete any watch list, so you can click on the cross button over here. It will ask for a confirmation, and once you click on the delete button, it will get deleted. So I'm not deleting as of now. So I'll just click on the cancel button, and then I'll click on the done button. So the best stock watch list has been added. So I'll click on that. So I clicked on the best stocks, and now it is showing me an empty list because I have not created, I just created the list and there was no stocks into that. So this is the first thing. So this is like creating a watch list, then you can rename it, you can delete it from the options that I've just showed. The first thing that you are showing in the list is like indices. So indices is like a predefined watch list. So in this, you can add particular indexes like Nifty or Sensex or whatever indexes that that are provided by the exchange. So we'll go on to that once we are done with the watch list script addition. So I'll click on the best stocks as of now. So here it says that you haven't added any stocks. So add stocks you want to add and follow them in just a click. So I'll click on this button, or I have a plus sign here as well. So if I click on the plus sign, I'll get a search bar. So in the search bar, if you can see, we have various small sections such as all, cash, futures, options, and currency. So this search we have designed in such a way that search as if you're searching something on Google. So I want to add a stock called as Reliance. And as I start typing, I will keep getting the results. So in this case, I'll do one thing. I'll just make the search a little complicated. So I want to search for Reliance future. So what I'll do is like I'll write Reliance space, I'll write Reliance futures, and I will get all the results related to Reliance futures. So in this case, if you can see, I've got Reliance August future, Reliance September future, and Reliance October future. Now I'm getting something called as R power as well, because once you get all the results of Reliance with the symbol name, it goes into filtering on the basis of the company name. So this is Reliance Power. So this is the next result that you'll be seeing over here. Then we have RCOM, which is Reliance Communications. So first, it always searches for a symbol name and then followed by the company name. In this case, what I'll do is, like, if I want to add this particular script to my watch list, so I can click on the plus button and the plus will get converted to a cross mark. So whenever you'll see a cross mark, that means a script is already present in your watch list. If you want to remove it, so the one way of removing is, like, you can just click on this and it will get removed again. So as of now, I just want to see whether this script is added to my watch list or not. So I'll click on this button again. I'll click on the go button. I'll go on the back button and I'll see that Reliance August futures is added to my list. So as I said, you can delete the script by just right clicking on it and click on the delete button, or else by the same way, I just search Reliance future. I can just click on this and click on the back button. So the script has been deleted. So these are the two ways of deleting a script, and I'll just go more into detail for the search bar, because this is where some of the users are getting confused that how do you search a script. So what about an option? If I want to search any script which is like a call or a put, so I'll do one thing. I'll search for a nifty call of 8500. So I'll type nifty call 8500. So once I type this, see, I have got the best result available over here. So this, which says nifty August 16 8500 call, nifty September 16 8500 call, nifty October 16 8500 call. So I have got all the results over here. If I want to search a put, I can just write put and it has given me the result of put. So I want to add this put to my list. I'll just click on this. It has got added. I want to add a call. It has got added. If I want to add a nifty future, I can just type nifty future. So I'll see a nifty future over here. Nifty August 16 future. I'll just click on this and it will get added to the list. So I have currently added 3 scripts over here. So this is how you add a script. Now we have a right click available on this particular script. So if you just right click on any of the script, so the various options are displayed, such as place an order. This will take you to the buy order entry from you can place a new order for this particular stock. If I click on chart, then a chart will be loaded. So if I just click on this chart, so you will see in the chart section, a chart is loaded that is of Nifty. Then the last thing is the delete option. So if you click on delete, it will get deleted. So I have added 3 stocks into this. So in the previous list, I had multiple stocks. So I'm not going to add all those in best stocks. So I have most of the stocks added into hot stocks. This is the first watch list that I have prepared. So if there were also questions that how do we rearrange the watch list? Like I have Z learning second last, I want to place this first. So I'll just click on this. I'll just drag it up and I'll drop it. So this is how I rearrange stocks. If I want Bank Nifty August, like at the bottom, I'll just take it at the bottom and drop it. I want Tata Motors in the third place. I'll just drag and take it up. I'll drag it and drop it. So this is how we just drag and drop and rearrange the scripts in the watch list. Now this is just showing you the prices and the absolute change. So what about there are various other options available in a watch list? Like you have got something called as volume, you have got something called as open, high, low, close. Then there are various rates and everything. So that is why we have an expanded column over here. So if you click on this arrow, this widget will be expanded. So I'm just clicking on this arrow, and if you can see this over here, the entire widget gets expanded. So if I click on Reliance, this is our detailed view where all the best 5 rates and the additional information about the stock you will be able to see. So in this column, if you can check, here we have price, here we have change, here we have percent change. Then this is level one, which says level one meaning this the first line of the best 5 rates, which is also known as market depth. So this is the first line. So you can see bid quantity, bid rate, ask quantity. Then we have something called as volume. Then for option traders and futures traders, we have something called as open interest. OI stands for open interest. Then we have the ATP, which stands for average traded price. Then we have something called as underlying LTP. This is the spot value. And these are all the primary, we conducted a survey, and based on the survey, we got to know that what all things are primarily important for a trader. So based on the survey, we have kept all this things as a primary thing. And this particular list keeps on updating when the market is open. But if you want any detailed information, more information about it, you can just click on this particular any of the scripts. So currently, if you are seeing, this is the detail view on the right. So this detail view says Reliance, NFO August futures. And if I want to see a detailed view of Tata Motors, so I'll just click on this. And once I click on Tata Motors, you will see the detail view has been updated to Tata Motors. So this is Tata Motors now. This is August futures. And these are all the open, high, low, close. Then we have 52-week high, low, the circuit levels. So this is the information that we got to know that is used secondary by the traders. So that is why we have kept that on one click. So all these things, whatever it is present in the watch list, gets updated on a live basis. It is, there is no delay, nothing happening. This is what we have developed like. So we are using web sockets. That is how on the basis of what this technology has been developed. If you want to check how the rates are, so currently we don't have the market running, so I won't be able to show you the exact live feeds. But if you open any day during the market session, and if you want to compare the rates with how a desktop software works, it will match you then and there itself. There won't be even a 1 second delay. So this is how powerful the web platform that we have designed. So the benefits of using Upstox Pro is like you can log in from any system, whether it can be a Mac OS, or it could be a Linux OS, or it can be a Windows OS. You don't need to download anything on your system. You just have to go into a web browser, just type pro.upstox.com, and you can just log in with that. So when you check rates, you can just check and match if you feel like if there could be a delay. So we are very confident that this is not going to be a delay, and we have tested it thoroughly. So in this particular section, if you see, there are a lot of scripts. Even here, you can do the rearranging. And once you rearrange over here and you just again go to the mini view, you'll see that script rearranged. So yeah, so if I want to place any orders on Suzlon, so how should I do it? Now, in this section, I'll just take Sun Pharma in this case. So this is Sun Pharma. So Sun Pharma equity, EQ means equity script. That's a cash script. So if I click on this, you will get a buy and a sell button. So buy, basically you want to place a buy order, and sell meaning you want to place a sell order. Now you will see that there is something called as 1 in the center. This is nothing but the quantity session. Now, whenever you wish to buy something, so you need to tell the other person that how much quantity you want to buy in. So that is what you're going to update it over here. So I want to like buy 100 quantities. I'll click on the buy button, and you'll see a buy order entry opens up. So this is the order entry screen from where you're going to place all the orders. So if you want to buy something, if you want to sell something, so this is the screen that it will take you to. So you just need to input few of the things into this and your order will be placed. So let us learn how you place an order with Upstox. So for placing an order, this is one thing that you can just input the quantity and click on the buy sell button, or you can just right click and click on the place order button. So this will take you to the buy order entry. We have a button at the top which says a buy or a sell. So in this case, if you wanted to sell something and you clicked on buy, and now instead of selling, just clicking and closing this back, it's better that you can just switch it from here itself. So this button will help you to switch between a buy and a sell. Then we have a script name added over here, which says that which script is it, like Sun Pharma equities, and the last traded price of that particular script. Then we have something called as complexity. Now this column we have added just to bifurcate between a complex order and a simple order. A simple order is something like a limit order or a market order or a stop loss order. With complex orders, we have three kind of complex orders. If I click on the drop down, you will see the three complex orders. First is AMO. AMO stands for aftermarket orders. So when is AMO used basically? So if the markets are not running, if I want to place an aftermarket order, you can just click on AMO, and during non-market hours, you can place this order. And when the market opens on the next trading session, these orders are pushed into the market and you get the desired status, whether it is like rejected or accepted or complete or open. So this is how you use an AMO. Then secondly, we have something called as CO. CO stands for cover order. So we normally provide higher leverage when you use something like a CO or an OCO. So we'll be covering CO once we are done with the simple complexity. Then we have something called as OCO. OCO is similar to CO, and even here we give some additional leverage. So even we will be studying about this in a while now. So let us start with a simple order. So this is the simple, whenever you select simple, you need to check all the other fields as well. So I'll come to the order type. So order type tells you that what kind of an order you wish to place, whether it could be a market order, a limit order, or a stop loss limit order, or a market limit order. So let's start with a market order. So what do you mean by a market order? Whenever you place any order selecting market, so whatever rate is available into the market, it will get bought at that particular rate. What happens with a limit order? Limit order is something, say about, if you see the price currently over here is like 841. So I feel that this particular price will come down to 835. So I can just input the price as 835 and I can place the order. Now what will happen is like my order will go into the exchange and it will wait for that particular price to reach up to 835. Once it falls up to 835, then the order gets triggered and then it gets completed. And if the particular rate is not reached, then it gets cancelled by the end of the day. So this is how you use a market and a limit order. We'll get back to stop loss and stop loss market in a while now. So I'll just show you how a limit and a market order works. Then we have something called as product types. So in product we have something called as intraday and delivery. Now what do you mean by intraday and what do you mean by delivery? Intraday is a day order. So in this, if you select intraday and if you place any of the orders, we will be giving you some leverage. So if you're trading on equities, so we provide like 15 times exposure. If you're trading on futures, then like 3 times. So this is the kind of leverage that we provide on intraday orders. But for when you place an intraday order, as we have given you some margin, so those orders get squared off at 315. So if you want to place an intraday order, you can just select intraday and place the order. Then there is something called as delivery. So what do you mean by delivery? Delivery is something where you wish to carry the position for the next day. So if I want to buy some shares and I want to hold them for a long period of time, so I will select delivery, and this shares, after once I buy this particular shares, this shares will go to my demat account. So this is where you're telling the system whether you wish to place it in intraday or delivery. So the basically the delivery thing is as such that once you buy it in delivery, it goes to a demat. So we are not going to square off that till the time you tell us to square off that. But in intraday, as there is an obligation where you have borrowed some money from us, where we have given you some leverage to trade with, so there you have an obligation where we will be squaring up your position at 315. So that is how a intraday and a delivery order works. So if you wish to carry the position for the next day, so always select it as delivery. If you want to gain some leverage for an intraday, so you can select that as an intraday. Then we have something called as TIF. TIF stands for time in force. This is nothing but the validity of the order. Now, what is a day order and what is an IOC order? So day order, when you place a day order, what happens is like in this case, we are placing the order at 835 and the current rate you can see is 841.90. So if you just select day from here and when you push this order into the exchange, it will go into the exchange. It will check whether the available price is there or not. If it's not there, it will wait for the price to fall up till 835 and then it will get bought. But there is also one another time in force which says IOC. IOC stands for immediate or cancel. Now what happens with this kind of an order is you send an order, it will check whether 835 is available or not. If it doesn't matches up, it will cancel the order. So this is called as immediate or cancel. So we always recommend if you wish to buy something, then you always place a day order so that it will wait for the rate to fall and it will get triggered. So this is how you place a normal buy order. So there is also called as quantity, which we had inputted as 100 over here. So it got automatically recorded over here. So we are now going to place a limit order at 835. So I'll just push this order by clicking on the buy button. Once I click on the buy button, it will bring me to a confirm page where it will show me what all things I have selected. It will take a final confirmation from me and then I can click on the buy button again and it will push the particular order into the exchange. But by any chance I feel no, this is not the price that I wanted to buy at. I just want to modify this. So there is a back button over here. You can just click on that. So once I click on this, it will bring me to again to the order entry screen. I can just modify the price, like I wanted to buy at 830 and then I'll click on the buy button again. So it will again take me to the confirm page. It will again show me what the price is. And then again, I can click on the buy button and it is going to push the order into the exchange. So currently I'm placing an order for 100 quantity at the price of 830. So as I placed it, so just a second. So my order has got rejected. If you can see over here. So this is my order book basically. Whenever our orders are placed, then once the order is placed, you will be able to see all the orders into the order book. I can expand the order book, but before I go to the expansion, I'll show you this thing. Uh, this is the mini view of order book, and we have a drop down which says all, open, and closed. In all, you will be able to see all kind of statuses such as rejected, complete, open, or trigger pending, or rejected. So you'll see all the statuses over there. If I want to see only my open orders, so orders which are not yet triggered, so you just click on the open section. So if you can see, I don't have any open orders now. And if I click on closed, so I'll be able to see like all the closed orders. such as complete, rejected, cancel. So as of now, I'll click on all, and these are all the orders that I'm able to see. Now, what we have done is, like, most of the time when you place an order and the order is like partially filled, so it is like very difficult to make out whether the particular order is filled or not. So you will see the status as open over here when a particular order is partially filled, but you also need to know that how much quantity is partially filled. So in this quantity section, it will always show you the total quantity, which is 100. And these are both the bifurcations, such as a traded quantity and a pending quantity. So your trading quantity, it will show you how much is your traded quantity and how much is your pending quantity. Now, if I just click on the expand button, if I can see the same thing has been expanded. So I was able to see up till this. Now I'm able to see also this particular columns. So this is my rejected order. So in my rejected order, here it is showing me that 100 quantity has been cancelled. There is nothing in pending and there is nothing been traded. And here I have something called as Axis Bank. So Axis Bank, I had placed it previously and it is complete. So I had placed an order for 100 quantities of Axis Bank and it is showing me under traded quantity as 100. So as I said, if there is an open order and if it is partially filled, then you'll be able to see open status over here. You will see the total quantity that you had placed for. It will show you how much has been traded and it will also show you how much is pending. Then there could also be a case where an order was open and you cancelled it, but the particular orders was partially filled. So in that case, you will see the total quantity over here in the quantity section. Then you will see the traded quantity, how much it was traded, and then your cancel quantity column will also get filled with the number of quantity that was cancelled. So this is how you read a order book. So the order book is always used to know the status, whether my order has been completed or rejected or cancelled. So in this case, I have placed a multiple orders now. So if you can check over here, this was the order for Reliance August futures. So if I'm checking over here, you'll see my order was rejected and I got a rejection reason for it. So the reasons, this is an internal rejection. The markets are not open for today. So the adapter is connected to something. So whenever you'll get a margin shortfall or something, some kind of that of a reason, so you will be able to see the particular reason in this section. So I'll just do one thing. I'll just show you the exact reason how it works. So I'm just relogging again. So I want a rejections which says I'll put something for a circuit limits. So what if I place an order at the price of 1. So I have got a rejection. So I placed an order for ICICI at the price of 1. So there is something called as circuit limits. So circuit limits is like there is an upper circuit and a lower circuit. Only in between that you can place a price. This is from the exchange. So if you check over here, I have got a notification bar after placing an order and it says check circuit limits. So this has been a rejection because of my circuit limits. So I'll get a notification here saying the rejection reason. But if by any chance I want to see the rejection reason in the book itself, so I need to expand this. I need to click on rejected and this will show me the rejection reason. So we have kept all the books similar to watch list. So in a watch list as well, if I go to a watch list again, you will see that there is a detailed view on the right in black. So this is like the additional information which is not required primarily. So it is available on one click. The same that we have done for an order book and a positions book. So if you can see, so this information is primarily required. So we have kept it over here If you click on any of the particular scripts, then you will see the additional information over here into this section. So this is the order book. Also, if I wanted to know, there is a case where assume that you have placed an order for a big order for like 1,000 or 10,000 quantity. Now the trade book will always show you the breakdown as in how the trades have been happened. Now here, if you can see, I had placed 3 orders which were completed, and it was just for like uh, a small quantity, so it came at one shot. But there is a possibility that you might get the trades the trades in a breaking way, such as you get 1,000 first, then you get 2,000, then you get 3,000, then you get 1,000 again. So you'll get all the single entries. So it is sometimes not possible to find out the actual price on which the particular order has been traded. So sometimes this is our trade book, by the way, and sometimes it is difficult to make out from a trade book that it will show me that it has been executed, but showing an average price is difficult in a trade book. So what we have done is, like in order book, we have a column. If you can check this Axis Bank, in Axis Bank, you can check the status which says complete. So at the end, you can see an average price. This average price shows you at what price your order was executed. So this is 570. So my order got executed at 570. Then I have Axis Bank. Sorry, ICICI Bank. So this ICICI Bank says my order was executed at 258.30. Then again, I placed one more Axis ICICI Bank for the rate of 257.40. So this is how you can check the average price. If there is if the trade book is showing multiple entries for one single order, then this is the right way of reading the actual price at what it got traded. So what is the difference between a price and an average price? So a price field is something that you're going to input. But if it gets traded as in multiple prices, then the average price is always shown into the average prices column. So this is how it is helpful. So this is how you actually read an order book. So I'll go again back to the order entry screen. So even in the watch list section, if you click on any of the scripts, you will get a drop down. So this drop down will show you the best 5 rates and the buy and sell buttons. So if you click on Tata Motors, it will show you the best 5 rates, the bid and ask, which is also known as market depth for Tata Motors August futures. Then you have got a buy button, you have got a sell button. This will be the rate on which your buy order will go. This is the rate on which your sell order will go. So if I come to Sun Pharma again, because that was a script which we had opened. So this is the script. So previously we placed an order at 830. Now what if I want to place an order and I want it to get executed then and there itself? So I will just select market and I'll push the order into the exchange. So as you can see, the market is not on, but today we have a mock session. So mock session is similar to a live session, but this is just a particular drill that is scheduled from the exchange just to test few of the things on the broker level. So even if you see that some of the orders are getting completed, then how is it possible? The market is not live, then how the orders are going. So this won't affect your trading of Friday. The closing that has happened as per Friday, the same way it will open on a Monday. But this is just a drill that is happening under NST, and they have it every month. So that is why we are scheduled this particular session for this Saturday. So this is the order. My order has got completed now. I had just placed it from one quantity, so it got completed then and there itself. So you can see the price at which it got executed. Now I'll try to place a limit order at, so it got traded at a price of 924. So I'll place place an order. That's like 900, and I'll place it. If you can see, my order is now open into the market. So I just placed an order to show you how the bifurcations work. Like I have an open away, I just click on open, so it will only show me the open orders. I'll just maximize it. So it will just show me an open. If I click on closed, so it will only show me the closed orders. If I click on all, it will show me all the orders. Now, what if I want to modify this open order? I feel that, okay, fine, the rate is at 900. I want to place it at 920. So I will just right click on this. When I right click, I'll get all the options. So you will never get a right click on any of the other orders. Oh, the order got traded at 900. So I'll just place one more order to show how the modification works. So I'll place it at 900 and 880. So this is the open order that I've just placed. So whenever you right click on an open order or trigger pending order, you always get a pop-up which says whether you want to modify or cancel an order. When you click on complete, right click on complete or rejected, you won't be able to do anything because those are closed orders. These are either traded or these have been cancelled from the exchange. But whenever you see something in this pending quantity column, you will see the status as open or it will say as trigger pending. So you normally get a trigger pending status when you're placing something called as a stop loss order. We will get to that as well. So in this case, I'll just right click, I'll click on the modify order button. So again, I will get a pop-up which says what all things I had inputted for this particular order. Now, if you can see, some of the things have been grayed out. So such as I cannot change the product, I cannot change the complexity. So you won't be able to change the particular complexity or the product. If you wish to do so, then you will need to cancel this order and you need to place a fresh order with the new product type or complexity. So in this case, what all things I can modify is the time in force, the quantity, say about I will be raised to 10, and the price, say about 881. And I click on modify. It will show me the confirm order page. Then I click on modify again. So I'll get a notification stating that you had placed for 10 shares for 881, and see, it has got modified to 10 quantities and the price is now at 881. If I want to cancel this order, I can just right click again. I'll click on cancel order. I'll get a pop-up stating that whether you wish to cancel this order or not. I'll click on a yes, and you can see that my order has been canceled. Now, if you would have noticed, previously my order was in pending. If you can just check, my order was in pending. Now it has got cancelled, so it has updated the cancel quantity section over here. Previously it was in pending. So this is how this particular section will be useful during your trading time. So your order book will always help you to know what all orders have been triggered, what all orders have been open, and this average price will always help you to know the actual price. We have something called as a filter button on the top, if you can check over here. So what this filter button does is, like, you can just click on this, and I want to only check if the list in this order book is like very big. So I just want to search for Bank Nifty, whether I have where is Bank Nifty. I just want to see what all the contracts of Bank Nifty. So I can just start typing Bank Nifty. As I type Bank Nifty, you will only see the results of Bank Nifty. If I want Sun Pharma, I will just start typing Sun Pharma and it will show me all the results of Sun Pharma. So this is how you can use the filter button. So if you want to just clear this particular field, you can click on, either you can use a backspace from your keyboard, or you can just click on this X button and it will clear the search again. You can click on the back button and everything is resetted again. So this is the order book. Now we will get back again to the order entry screen because we have just studied limit and market now. Now we will go to something called as stop loss market and stop loss limit. So what do you mean by a stop loss? So as the name suggests, stop loss is basically stopping your losses. So assume that you have bought something at 800 and 841.90, and you have bought something, but now you feel that what if I incur losses into this? So I might get busy with something or the other work and I might forget to watch the particular script. So what I do is like I want to just protect that particular order so that I can just incur a certain amount of loss. So in that case, if you feel that 841 it has got traded at and you want to protect it up to 830, so I don't want the loss to go beyond 830. So what you will do is like, firstly, you have options to select a stop loss market or a stop loss limit. So what these both are. So all the stop loss orders are passive orders. They are not active orders. So whenever you place a stop loss order, it goes into the system and it waits for the passive order to get activated. Now the activation from a passive to active order is done by a trigger price. So whenever of the particular market reaches the particular price reaches a trigger price, your order gets activated. So the activation price will be known as the trigger price. So in this case, we will be inputting that as 830. So what will happen is like this particular stop loss market. Now I'll just change the particular order entry over here because as I said, I had bought at 841. So now the stop loss that I will be putting, that will be for squaring of my positions. So in this case, my square off means, so my square off means I'm going to sell off this position. So I will be placing a stop loss on the sell side. So I'll be selecting the order entry as sell from here, and I will be inputting the trigger price as 830. Now what will happen? Now once I place this order, this particular order will go and it will get passive into the system. Once the particular LTP, the last trade price, reaches from comes to 830, the order will get particular activated, and then it will get triggered. So this is how a stop loss works. But there is also something called as stop loss limit. So the stop loss limit is similar to stop loss market. But what happens in this case is like when when you reach up to 830, when we reach up to 830, your order will get active and it has a range for execution. Now in the previous one, that is the stop loss market, we didn't provide any range. If you can just notice over here, we had just selected SLM and the price field, it was not asking for any of the price. So what happens is like once your order gets activated, when it reaches up to 830, it turns from passive to active, and when it's get activated, it will get sold off at the best price available. But in the case of a stop loss limit, it will get activated and you have to give a range. So have to give a range at a certain price. There is no price defined. You can keep this as 830 as well. But what will happen if you keep this as 830? The order won't get time to get activated. So like when it reaches 830, it won't get activated because you have placed both the prices at the same range. So we always recommend either you keep it at 825 or you keep it at 820. So once this particular trigger price reaches to 830, this order will get activated and it will start executing. So this is how you use a stop loss limit order. So we normally recommend that if you don't know how to use a stop loss limit order, you always use a stop loss market order. So because when you use a stop loss market order, you just have to give one particular entry such as 830 and it gets activated at that particular rate and it starts squaring off from there itself. So it is always safe to use a stop loss market order if you don't know how to use a stop loss limit order, or else if you don't want to keep a difference. So if I place this particular order, so I have just placed this order, and you can see over here I have got the status as trigger pending. So this is my stop loss order. If you can check this particular order type as stop loss market, my trigger price at 830. By the way, this is my order book from where I'm currently viewing it. So this is 830, and you will notice that the status is TGR pending. So that stands for trigger pending. So whenever you place anything with the order type as stop loss market or the stop loss limit, you will see the status as trigger pending. So trigger pending is something like an open order, but just to bifurcate between a normal order and a stop loss order, the status you will be seeing as trigger pending. So if you can just check the order book under open, you'll be seeing this as trigger pending, because as I said, this is again an open order. So then again, few people might be if few people can catch that this is again, you can modify this particular order because still it isn't open. If you cannot do the same for any of the other orders like completed order or a cancel order. If I'm right clicking on this, nothing is happening, but if I'm right clicking on a trigger pending order, you're getting an order to modify this order or to cancel this order. So again, when you click on the modify order entry, some fields will always be disabled, which will be complexity and the product type. You cannot do anything about that. Then you can modify the quantity, you can modify the trigger price, you can modify the time in force. So in this case, I'm modifying it to like about 835. So I'm just modifying and placing this order. So now you can see that this has been modified. By the way, every time whenever you place any of the orders, the notification bar will open up, and this will show you that what has actually happened. So this will act like a summary. Uh, this will always show you what all activities you have done with regards to the order entry. So in this case, it says that you have modified successfully. So you can just close this. So if any of them they feel like this notification bar should not open each and or every time I have to go and click over here, you can just press an escape key and it will get closed. So this was we have completed all the four things like a market order or limit order. What do you mean by a stop loss order? So this we have completed. Now we will move to some of the complex order entries. So in the complex order entries, we have AMO. AMO is you will have same kind of options for an AMO like a limit, stop loss, or a market order. As I previously said, AMO stands for aftermarket orders. Now aftermarket order timings are from 6:30 to 12 midnight and from 4 in the morning to like 9 till 9 in the morning. So if you place any orders during this particular time, your orders will be accepted, it will be stored at our end, and when the market opens at 9:15, your orders will be pushed in the market, and the market will give you the desired status, whether it is something called as whether it has been executed, rejected, or they are in open. So So if I try to place it now, you will get something like this. If you can see, the status will show that this is an AM order. I'll just expand this for you. So the order book will always show me what the status is. So it has accepted your order as AMO. So you can bifurcate. I mean, sometimes if we show this as open, then it will be very difficult for you to identify between so many records. So we have kept it as AMO. You can again modify your AMO. You can again cancel your AMO. So this all these things are possible with your aftermarket orders. So we are now getting to two of the very important complexities. One is a cover order and the other one is and OCO. Now OCO stands for one cancels the other. So before that, we'll go to cover order. Now what are the benefits of a cover order? Why we are kept it separate? What is the advantages that a user will get when he places a cover order? Now whenever you place a simple order, we do provide some leverage to you, that is in equities required like 15 times, 5, it's like 3 times. But whenever you're using a cover order or a or an OCO, we are going to provide you an additional leverage. So the additional leverage will be like 20 times for equities, then we have like 4 times for futures and options, then we have something like 7 times, up to 7 times for futures and 4 times for options. So all these different kind of leverages will be provided for you in a cover order and an OCO. So this leverage is more than a normal intraday product. Now, how can we do it? How is it possible to provide so much of a leverage? Now, the only thing is like this is not an independent order. This is a dependent order. Now, what do you mean by an independent or a dependent order? Now, independent order is like the one that we placed in with the complexity as simple. So whenever you're placing an order, whenever you're placing an order, it goes into the exchange and it doesn't have any dependency with any of the orders. It is completely independent. But whenever you're placing a CO, you need to compulsory set a stop loss at the time of placing the first leg. So what do you mean by a leg? In cover order, we have two legs. One is first leg and the second leg. So the first leg will be always your buying order, and your second leg will always be a selling stop loss. If you're short selling something, then your first leg will be a sell order, and your stop loss will be a buying, your second leg will be a buying stop loss. So this is how a cover order works. So if you can just check into this screen, you're seeing a CO over here. Your order type is freeze to market, your product type is freeze to market, intraday, and your time in force is a freeze to day. And the only thing which is editable is the quantity and a trigger price. Now in a cover order, your first leg will always go as market. So that is a reason this is freeze to market. And cover order is an intraday order. You cannot carry forward the order for the next day. So that's the reason this has been, the product type has been freeze to intraday. So whenever you place this kind of an order, it will ask you for a trigger price. So in this case, I'm placing a buy cover order. So by default, my first leg will be a market order. So that's the reason it won't ask me to input a price, but it will definitely ask me for a selling stop loss. So for inputting a selling stop loss, I need to input my trigger price. Now, trigger price should be in some or the other range. This range is decided by a risk management to provide you some higher leverage. So I have to input the particular trigger price within this particular range. So here the range starts from 757 to 841. So if I'm placing anything out of this range, like a 600, and I'm placing the order, it will stop me then and there itself. So you'll see a red line over here and you'll see a reason over here. So it says trigger price must remain within the specified range. So I am inputting the range as 830. And if I place this order, it will show me what all things I have selected. And as I click on this, now I have pushed this order. And if after pushing, if you can see, okay, just a second. Yeah. If I can see, these are the two orders. I just placed one order, but I'm able to see two orders over here. So that is where the first leg and second leg that I was just talking about. So here you are able to see this as a completed one and this as a stop loss. So my first leg is always a market order. So that was a market order. That's the reason it got executed then and there itself. And I had placed a stop loss at 830. So I'm able to see this as a trigger price at 830 and the status as trigger pending. So you will be able to see the product now as CO, that is a cover order, which will help you to identify between an intraday order or a delivery order and a cover order. So you'll be able to see it over here. Now this is still open. That's the reason you'll be able to see the quantity as pending quantity as 1 over here, and you are able to see the status as completed. Now, what if this particular order has got triggered? So what if you want to square off this particular order at if say you had purchased this at say 800 and something at say like 917, okay, and now you are making some of the other profit. So now you have reached a price of the LTP of 110, I mean 1010. So now we want to just square off this order. So you cannot do a square off by placing a sell order. You just have to modify this particular trigger pending order. So how you can do is you can just right click on this and you need to click on the exit order button. Now, when you click on the exit order button, it is going to sell that particular share of Sun Pharma into the market at the current market price. It won't ask you for a price. So you can modify the particular trigger price. If you can if you can check over here, this is the modify order. I can click on this and I can modify the range, but you cannot set a selling target. You can only place a stop loss where you are going to protect your losses up to. So I want to exit this particular order. I feel that my target has reached now. So what I'll be doing is like you just need to exit this particular open order which says trigger pending. So I'll just click on this. It will ask me for a confirmation. I'll just click on yes, and you can see there it has just got squared off. You can see the status as completed. So I had bought at something and I have sold this at something. So this is how you will be squaring off a cover order. You cannot square off a cover order by placing an independent order because it is a dependent order on a stop loss. So you just need to square off the particular stop loss. Now again we have something called as an OCO, which is similar to cover order, but I would say this is an advanced version of cover order. Now why it is an advanced version of cover order is when you placed a cover order, there were only two legs, which says the first leg and the second leg. So your first leg was a buy order and the second leg was a selling stop loss order. Now, what if I want to also place a target as well? So here in this case, say at 841, I am buying something. I want to keep my target at like 830, and I feel that I should keep a target of like 900. So that is not possible with cover order, but that is definitely possible with an OCO. So OCO stands for one cancels the other. This is also known as a bracket order. Now, how do you place or what are the benefits of using an OCO? So I just said it is more advanced than a cover order, and you will enjoy the same kind of a leverage that you will be enjoying with a cover order. So in this case, if you can see, there are few fields that we have freezed, which is your order type. So in cover order, we saw that your first leg is always market, but in an OCO, your first leg is always a limit order. That means you have to give some price at which it will get triggered. Then your product is always freeze to intraday when you're placing an OCO, because this is an intraday order and you cannot carry it or convert it for the next particular day. You cannot take it on a delivery basis. So this is the reason limit and intraday are both freezed for this particular things. So I'll just show you what do you mean by a first leg, second leg, and third leg. So this is the price section is your first leg, stop loss is your second leg, and take profit is your third leg. So in this case, when you're placing an OCO, if you want to buy something at 841, so just give that price of 841. Then in the stop loss, you cannot input the price. You just provide the difference from the price. So I want to square it off at, like, I want to set a stop loss at 830. So I'll do I'll calculate it by 841 minus 830, that comes to 11 points. So I'll input 11 over here, and I want a stop loss say at like 860 61. So that is like 20 points from 841. So I will just input 20 over here, and I will push the particular order. So this is how you place a bracket order. You don't input a price when you're giving a stop loss and a take profit. You just have to input the difference from the price. So I will just place this particular order. So if I place this order will go into the exchange. But as I said, these are like dependent orders. A CO and an OCO, these both are dependent orders. So in an OCO, it will be a three-legged order. So it will wait for the first leg to get triggered. Only when the first leg gets triggered, you will get to see the second leg and the third leg. So this is how it works. So in this case, I am just placing this order at 841. So I have placed it, and you will be only able to see the first leg. You will be only able to see the first leg over here. Ideally, it should have been three legs, but your first leg is not yet executed. Whereas in the case of a cover order, we place that the first leg was always market, so that got executed and the second leg was visible. But in this case, till the time the first leg is not executed, you won't be able to see the second and third leg. So what I'll do is I'll just modify this, and I'll just buy it at the current market price. By the way, this is how you'll be able to see the modify screen. So only when you modify, whenever the first leg is executed, at that time you'll see the second and third leg, and only then you can modify the second and third legs. So I'll just place it at a very high price, say like 1000. Okay, something went wrong here, just a second. I'll place it at 1000. Let me check the circuit limits. So I'll check the circuit limits first. Sun Pharma. The circuit limits are not updated due to mock session. So I'll place an OCO 1000 and a difference of 11. Okay, so my order got rejected saying of orders out of the circuit limits. So I'll try one more script. So something, say like Axis Bank. So I'll try for Axis Bank. So this is basically the mock session. That's the reason we are noticing this kind of errors. I'll keep this a little higher. So I need to check the circuit limits for this as well. 813. Okay, so I placed an OCO and all the OCOs got triggered there and there itself. So it got executed at 500, 513. So I need to keep a little more difference. So this uneven behavior you'll always notice in a mock section. So I'm keeping this at a range of 50 and this at a range of 50. So I have placed an OCO now. So if you can check, I have placed an OCO for Axis Bank, and this is the order. I placed it. This was my first lead, in fact. The price was 600, and the price, if you can see OCO over here, and this is 600. So this is my target, and this is my stop loss. So what will happen over here is, see, as the name suggests, this is OCO. One cancels the other. Now, how I'll just explain you how the logic works. So this has got triggered at some, say, about 600. We had a difference of 50-50 on both the sides. That was on stop loss and a target. So whenever a stop loss is triggered, the particular target is cancelled. Whenever a target is hit, at that time the stop loss order is cancelled. So this is why it is called as one cancels the other. So if you are an intraday trader and you want like an extra leverage, plus you want to set a stop loss as well as target in this way, then always use an OCO, where your first leg will be the limit order, then the stop loss, and then the square off. So in this case, what I'll do is, like, I'll just square off one of the orders, and you'll notice that the other leg will get automatically cancelled. So if in case I feel that, no, again, the rate I was looking out for, it won't reach now, so I'll just cancel my order. I just want to exit my order. By the way, cover orders and OCOs cannot be cancelled. They can be only exited, because those are dependent orders and not independent orders. So that's the reason I will just right click on it. I'll just click on the exit order button, and my orders will get then and there exited. So I'll just, before exiting, I'll just show you what will happen. So these are like two orders. So one will get completed and the other one will get cancelled because it's an OCO. So I'll just click on exit. I'll click on yes. So if you can see here, you have got the desired result. So this has got completed and this has got cancelled. So this is how an OCO works, due to the dependency on each other. Now this order that I just placed is a normal OCO. So what do you mean by a normal OCO? A normal OCO means a regular order. Now we also provide one more facility in an OCO, which is known as a trailing tick or a trailing stop loss. Now what do you mean by a trailing stop loss? Trailing stop loss is where it will trade as per your stop loss moves up. I mean the LTP moves up. So in this case, let's take an example. Say the price is at 570. You have placed a stop loss at, say, 560, and you have set a target of 600. Now whenever the LTP will move like 1 rupee on an upside, your stop loss will keep jumping from 560 to 561. So in this case, if you see, we have something called as ticks. So you're able to see the ticks. So it says the tick size is 0.05, and the tick I have entered is 20. So if I enter the tick as 25, you will see that this particular price will change. So what this means, so whenever my particular LTP, that which is currently at 570, if it moves from 570 to 571.25, and if my stop loss is set at 560, then it will jump from 560 to 561.25. So this is how a trailing tick works. So when will this benefit a user? So it will benefit as the market will move up, and then it starts coming back. So say about you had set this particular trailing stop loss at 570, and then again from there it has just moved up to, say, like 590, and as your particular stop loss moved with the particular LTP, it will come and it will stay at 581.25. So if the particular LTP comes down again to 581 and 25, so their stop loss will get triggered. So this is how a trailing tick works. So if you want to use a feature of a trailing stop loss, then you can use it in this way. Now there are some parameters attached to this trailing stop loss, that the minimum tick that you can place is 20. So if I'm placing the minimum tick at 20, then it will accept my order. If I input something lesser than 20, then it won't accept. So say like I'm inputting something like this, and if I'm inputting the buy price, then it will say the trailing tick cannot be lesser than 20. So it should be always either 20 or more than 20. So in this case, if I'm inputting, say, even if 50, so it will accept my order and it will take me to the next page. So this is how a trailing tick works. So the other thing with trailing tick is like you can only set the trailing tick only for the one time. Once you place the order, you won't be able to modify your trailing ticks. So whenever you're trading with a trailing tick, so just be careful that you are well versed with the concept that how it's going to function. So this is how you place a trailing stop loss. So I have just placed it at this particular price, and it is the same way how an OCO works. So it will just accept it and it won't show me what trailing ticks I had inputted, but it will accept my order and your particular stop loss will start trailing if the LTP moves on the higher side. So this is how you place a bracket order. Now, whatever orders we have placed through the order entry, some of them have got triggered. I mean, if you can check the status over here, most of the orders have got completed. So basically, I can only check. Okay, so my OCO got triggered and triggered on both the sides. Okay. So you can see there are multiple complete orders. So I want to just view how the completed orders are. So I'll just refresh once again. So I'll show you the position books. So this was the order book that we were viewing first. Now this is the position books that I'll just come to. I'll just click on the expand button and you'll see a lot of positions that I have. Like I have nearly 5 positions out here. So positions shows that how much quantity is still open. This is nothing but open positions. So you will see this column called as the net quantity. So the net quantity has, so Sun Pharma, in Sun Pharma for the product type as CO, I don't have any quantity pending because my net quantity is 0. If you check in Sun Pharma, this is for an intraday order. So here I have 2 quantities pending. So this could be one particular script, but the products are different. That's the reason it is showing you separately. So this is like 2 quantity I have. ICICI I have 101. That's an intraday. Then I have like in Axis Bank, I have 100 quantities in intraday. And in Axis Bank, I have -1. So -1, this means that I have not bought it, I have short sold it. So whenever you'll see a minus sign, that means this is a short sell order. That's in OCO. So over here, if you can see, I have all the positions out here. Now, if I right click on this, on a CO or an OCO, I won't be able to see any of the options. But if I normally right click on a Sun Pharma or an ICICI or an Axis, I'll be able to see 2 options such as a square off and a convert position. So for an Axis Bank, even if there is some quantity, I am not able to right click. The only reason is like, as I during the time I was explaining a cover order and an OCO, those 2 orders are dependent orders and not independent orders. So the dependency of those OCO and OCO is kept in the order book itself. So as you know, there are the second leg and the third leg that comes with a CO and OCO. So whenever you want to square off a cover order or a OCO, you need to just exit that particular order from the order book. You won't be able to see that over here. But in case of an independent order, independent orders can be squared off from the position books, as like you are able to see it for a Sun Pharma, ICICI Bank, or an Axis Bank. So if you just right click on this, you'll be able to see options of square off and position conversion. What do you mean by a square off? Square off meaning you have like 100 quantities over here. You just can click on the square off button, and it will ask for quantities how much you wish to sell. So this is basically a sell order. So it won't ask you like a tradition in a traditional order entry, like you just need to input the product type and everything. This gets inputted directly, and you just need to mention the particular quantity, such as I want to square off 50 quantity. I'll just click on 50 and I'll place the order. So if you can check, I've just placed the order and this has now updated to 50. So I had 100 quantities over here and 50 has been squared off. You can check that into this bifurcation. So we have something called as a buy quantity. We have something called as a sell quantity. Then we have something called as a CF quantity. CF stands for carry forward. So these are like, this will show you the overnight positions. So if there is something buy or a sell that is happening on intraday, that is like in a day, then you will see the updation under a buy quantity and a sell quantity. If you have bought some shares a day back, or any like a 3 days back or a 4 days back, then that particular thing will be shown under a CF quantity. If the CF quantity is on a positive side, that is you had bought something, then this will be a positive number. And if you have short sold something, as like we have a short sell position over here, this particular column will show a minus sign, so like a minus 50 or something like that. So in this case, currently we have 50 quantities pending, and this is how we just squared off the position. So currently we don't have a square off at a limit or a square off at a stop loss available. We will make that available in the coming time. So all the orders will be sent at the market or at the market price itself as for now. Then we have something called as convert positions. So what do you mean by convert position? So you can check over here itself. If when will a person use this? So when you place an intraday order, as you know, we provide you some leverage. So like a 15 time for a cash or 3 times for a futures or an options. So whenever you place intraday orders, we provide you some or the other leverage. So if by any chance you feel that you wish to carry these positions for the next day, so at that time, what will happen is like you just have to come to a position book. You just have to click on the convert position option. You can just input the quantity that you need to convert. Say like I want to convert 10 quantity, and I'll click on the done button. So when I click on the done button, my position gets converted. So if you can see this particular thing, I had a balance of 50. Now I have converted 10 from it, so the balance remain is like 40, and the new particular position is created, which shows me that 10 quantities have been kept in delivery, which will not be squared off at 315. So only 40 shares will be squared off because I have taken a leverage, and for this I have paid the entire cash because I've selected delivery. So 10 particular shares will be carried forward for the next day into my demat account. So this is how do you convert. Even if you want to do a reverse conversion from delivery to intraday, and if the position is visible in a position book, you can do it again. I'll just convert the entire 10 quantity back. So if you can check, my position book has been updated to 50 again. So I had a bifurcation of 40 and 10. I just converted 10 back to intraday. So this has got added back. So this is how you convert a position. Now, as I told you previously, CO and OCOs cannot be converted to the next day because those are intraday orders, and those are dependent orders and not independent orders. So this is how you use a position book. Now, again, the same concept we have followed for the detail page, the way we have in order book and the way we have in a watch list. So whenever you click on any of the orders, the secondary view will be available on the right hand side. So anyone wishing to know what the realized M2M or the unrealized M2M, so you can just click on this and these figures will get updated. Now, everything this happens on a real-time basis. The M2M will be refreshing on a real-time basis. It's just that the market is not live at the moment, so you will not be able to see the particular reads. So even the LTP is real-time. So in relation to the LTP, your M2M will get updated. So even when if you wish to like whenever the market is on the realized M2M and the real unrealized M2M, this will also be reflecting and updating at lifetime. So again, we have a filter option available here as well. So if I want to just I have a big list of positions and I just want to search like ICICI. So I just input ICICI and I got the detail of ICICI. So even the filter option is available here. So this is my mini view. So again, I'll come to this particular position and I have something called as holdings. Now, what do you mean by a position and what do you mean by a holdings? So whenever you take a positional trade, so positional trade, I mean, you're carrying the position for the next day. Okay, if it is a future or an option script, then that will be visible in the position book because there is certain expiry time and an expiry date to it. So those are called positional orders. And if you're buying something overnight for a cash segment, that is for an equity segment, on from the next day it will start showing into your demat account because there is no expiry to it, so you can hold it for a long term. So that's the reason we have to maintain it separately. So that is maintained in a demat account, and all those things you will be able to see in this holding sections. So if you can see, I have some positions, some particular holdings I have added into the list. So this is the particular positions that I have. So I have Reliance one quantity. This is the balance quantity that I have. Then this is a haircut if you're using collateral facility, then the haircut percentage and the haircut value you'll be able to see it over here. If you want to sell any of the particular scripts, then you can just click on the sell button and order entry will open. You just need to enter the price at what you need to sell at, and you need to particularly sell that particular order. Now here you will see that CO and OCO won't be available because you're selling a delivery and these are not intraday orders. Even this is a delivery and not an intraday order, so you'll only see an option of a delivery. So this is how you normally place a particular order. Say about 900 I place a sell order and my position got updated. So this is how you can check your delivery orders in the position book. So whatever orders I have placed, you can just go to the filter. So I just sold, it got rejected due to some reasons, due to the square of circuit limits. So this is how you place a particular square of a delivery positions. So I'll get to the charts section now. So chart is something that you need for a technical analysis. So I'll just add a chart of Axis Bank. So you have two ways of adding a chart. You can right click on the chart section and it gets added, or you can again use a universal search the way we used for a watch list. And then this is how it shows. So this is a mini view. I'll just maximize it. So I'm currently using the scroll button on my mouse from which I can just zoom in and zoom out. So I'm just zooming in, I'm just zooming out. If you want to move right and left, I'll just click once and hold it, and I'll just move left and right to move the charts. I have got a crosshair activated, so I'll just disable my crosshair. So this is the volume bar. This is currently the candle chart that I'm having, and I'll start with the chart types now. So these are the multiple charts that we currently have in Upstox. So a candle, line, OHLC, bar, and a lot of charts, something called as Hekinashi as well, used by many of them. Then we have Renko, we have Kagi. So we can have just like this is this is something called as a Kagi. Then we have baseline delta. Then we have the mountain chart as well. So the candle chart is like widely used, so I'll just keep candle just available for my analysis. Then this is called as the time intervals. So we have a multiple time intervals available over here, such as 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10, 30. So these are some historical ones, that is a day or a week. So I can just click on a month, and we have a data available from 2005. So you'll be able to see that on a daily chart. Then again, we have a data of, say, for a 1 minute candle, we have available for like 30 days. So you can just drag and just move left. So if even if it stops, it will start loading the data. It will take like a second to load, and you'll get a lot of candles just for analysis. So we have just tried to make the chart section very much comfortable for the users, because that is something which is needed the most. So you have a lot of intervals out here, and we have given a lot of data to you, which you can use it for your analysis. Then we have something called as indicators. So this is this is a section of indicators. So we have like 100 plus indicators. So the list is quite big. So that's the reason we have given a search bar. So you can just input the indicators, such as I need to input Bollinger Bands now. So I'll click on this, and it gets auto plotted. If I want to change something, I just don't want this thing highlighted. So I'll just remove the tick and click on the apply settings button. So this has got removed. I want to change the period, so I'll just apply, and the period changes again. So this is how I apply an indicator. I want something called as an MACD. I'll apply that as well. So my MACD that has been applied. If I want something called as an RSI, so I'll click on that, and my RSI is now available with the overbought and oversold lines. So if I want to move this particular indicator at the top, so this is how you move it. So currently, if I want to remove any of the indicators, I can just go over here, and this is the list of indicators that I have currently added. This is the filter that I have applied. I can just clear the filter and see the list once again. And this is the settings panel. So if you want to edit some of the parameters, you can just click on that particular indicator, such as Bollinger Bands, and you'll see all the fields of that. You can just change and update it. So I'll update the color, if so that the color has changed now. If you just hover on any of the overlays, so you can just, if you hover it, you will see that as a little in a highlighted way. So that gives you a better way that how it is looking currently. So if I want to remove any of the indicators, I can just click on this particular option and it gets removed. If I want to remove everything, I can just click on the remove all option. It gets removed. Now, some of the widely used indicators, such as a moving average, so a simple moving average or an exponential moving average, you will find that in the section called as moving averages. And by default, a simple moving average will be plotted. Then there is a drop down in type where you can select exponential moving average. You can click on that, and you can click on the apply settings button, and this will be exponential moving average. So this is how you plot a moving average. Then whatever indicators, such as an ATR or a force index or stochastics, if you wish to apply, you can just apply them, and you can modify the setting as per your preferences. So as of now, I'll just remove this particular indicators from here. Now there are also some people who also wish to apply some kind of a drawing tools. So if you can see this like a pen or a pencil kind of an icon, you can just click on this and a drop down will be activated. So this drop down has a multiple things into it. So something I want to draw on a freehand, so I can just draw on a freehand basis. And I want something called as Fibonacci retrenchments. So I can just click on the Fibonacci and I'll get a list called as retrenchments arc or a fan. So I'll use the retrenchment at this point. So for using the retrenchment, you can just select the retrenchment from here. If you want to change the colors or the ratios, you can change it from here. You set it at a point. So this is my point. If you can see, I'll just click once and I'll start moving it on the upper side. And the point where I need to drop it, I'll just go here and click again. So this is how I use a Fibonacci. If you want to undo it, we have a undo button. You can just click on the undo button. It will get removed. If you want to add it back, we also have a redo button. You click on the redo button. So this is how you use a retrenchment. This is an arc. You can just click once. Then this is how you plot an arc. So if I want to remove this again, I can click on the undo button. Then we have something called a pitchfork as well. If you want to use pitchforks, so this is how you use a pitchfork. So we also have this thing available for you. Then there is also called as a trend line. So if I want to measure this trend, so from this point, I'll click from this point and I'll drop it here, or I'll just place it here. This is what the trend is. So if I drop, if you can just see just besides this section, I mean, you can just have a look on this particular section. So I am just measuring that, and that is getting changed each and every time. So I want to see the levels, that from the starting point till the ending time point, what is the price fall or the percentage fall, or how many bar is it is covering. So you will be able to see that as well, which might help to your analysis. So this is a trend line that you can draw as per your convenience. Now you want to measure some of the, if many of the people who want to set their own support and resistance levels, so we have something called as a horizontal line as well. So I'll just change the color of the line first. So this is something called, I'll take in a blue. Okay, so this is I want to keep my uh, resistance levels somewhere over here. So I'll just, with the help of this, I'll just take this a little down. I'll click and just bring it down. Now this is something I want to place my resistance at. So I'll just click once. So this is my resistance. Then over here, I want to place my support line. So I'll just click once again over here. So this is my support line. So if I want to name this as a support line or something like that, I can use a call out feature or a text box from here. So I'll use the call out. So I'll click on this. I'll start typing like, this is my resistance. I'll save it. I wish to like call this as a support with a text box here. So I have something called as a text tool. So I'll start typing. I'll just save it. So this is how you can use the study lines. The study lines you need to activate by clicking on this. So once you select any of the study lines and you want to stop drawing, you just click on the none button and that particular thing is stopped. So I'll just clear drawings as for now. So this is how this particular things look out. The other thing is that we have added something called as a day break. So if you can see this particular section, so I'll just select a 5-minute interval over here. So this is the day break line. So this gives you a very good view of the trading session. So this is my one trading session. This is second trading sessions. So how the trend has fared. So this is what you'll be able to see based on the trading particular day breaks. Now this is something called a previous close line that we have added. So just on the basis of charts, you want to see where was yesterday's close. So this was the yesterday's close, and on the basis of this, you can see how the particular day that has fared off. So I'll select say an ICICI for this. So this is how it shows. So this is my previous close. Then it went from down, it went up, then it came again down, then it closed near the previous close levels. So this is how you use the charting section in Upstox. So this is the advanced charting that we have got. If you want to zoom in with the, if by any chance you're using a laptop and you don't have a mouse in place, and if you feel like the scroll button, you don't have a scroll button to scroll in, so you can use the plus or a minus sign on the charts to just zoom in and zoom out. So this is the charting section. Now we have added an important tool which is quote panel. So quote panel is normally used by an intraday trader. Now what is a quote panel? So we got a survey, we got a feedback in a survey saying that most of them are like intraday traders and they don't use any of the chart. They just trade based on the prices and price actions. So what we did is like we created a quote panel. If you check on each and every block, there is a script name over here. There is a mark to mark, I mean the M2M, that is a profit and loss that you're getting. And there is something called as a net quantity, that how much quantity you hold. And the buying and the selling price with the quantity. Now what happens is like, this is also known as speed trading. So you're inputting the, you're not going to input any of the prices over here. So, but this feature needs to be activated before you start using the one-click trade. So this is the section that we have which says one-click trade. So if you just click on any of the buy order sell buttons, order entry opens, which is a traditional order entry that we are currently using. But you don't want to use a traditional order entry. You just want to click on this button and your order shall get submitted. So for that, you need to activate a one-click trade. So whenever you click on a one-click trade, it will give you a message, the risk involved in placing this particular order, and you need to enter your passcode. So that is like, I'll input my passcode and I'll click on the verify button, and you'll see the one-click trade has been activated. So now what will happen? So when the last time I clicked on the buy button, my order got my order got my order entry got open. But in this case, when I click, my order should go direct without asking me for an order entry. So when I click this particular order, you can see my order has been placed into the market and my net quantity has turned from 0 to 1. And this is what the M2M that I'm currently getting. So I click on again on that, and you see again I have placed the order and the net quantity is updating. I'll buy it again, say for like 10 quantity. I can just click on the buy button once again, and again it has bought me 12 shares. So as the quantity is increasing, my M2M is also increasing. So currently I'm running under losses of 201. So I'll just want to square off this particular order. I can just click, just input 12 over here and click on the sell button. So I clicked on the sell button and my net quantity is 0 now, and my M2M, I have square off the position into losses, which says 45.40. Now you need to be very careful. Now you need to be very careful when you place a one-click trade, because here no confirmation will be asked when you place an order. So be careful with your clicks so that you don't click anything wrong out here, because that is again going to send that particular order. If you feel that you want to use it, this particular quote panel like a watch list, and don't want to use one-click trade, You just can switch this off, and when I switch this off and I click on the buy button, it will again open me a traditional order entry. Now these are the code panel. When you place any of the orders, some things are freezed at our end, such as the order will be accepted only as an intraday order, then the validity always be a day, and the order type will always be a market when a one-click trade is activated. So this orders will be always will be accepted as intraday orders. So even if you buy anything from here with one click trade, still the position will be visible in the position book, and the entry will be created in the order book, and you can square off the positions from here as well. So if you're buying something from a code panel, it will reflect in a position book. So even if you're buying something from over here and that particular block has been added over here, and if it's an intraday order, it will still going to update into your code panel and in your position book. So this is about the code panel and the one-click trade. Now we have something called as a balance sections at the top. So when you just click on, when you just hover on the rupee symbol, you will see a particular balance out there which says a total balance, a margin use, or an M2M, or a net balance. When you click on that, you will see a particular pop-up coming up. Okay, I guess I hit the back button. Currently, we have not activated the auto reconnecting feature. So whenever I hit the back button for any of the reasons, it just takes me out. So we are again going to activate the reconnecting feature so it doesn't logs you out just by clicking a backspace button. So we are currently working on that. So I was talking about something regarding this. So this is my balance section. So you will see something called as a net balance. You will see something called as a total balance. Then we have margin used M2M. We have instant pain, atom, ad hoc, span margin, and an exposure margin. Now, what do you mean by net balance? First, let's start with the total balance. So total balance is the addition of whatever balance you had on the previous day. Then if you had made a pain of something, instant paying, or if you have done some kind of an NEFT transfer. So if you do NEFT transfers, then the margin is given by a risk management team that has been updated manually. So that, or so based on that, a total margin is calculated. So currently I have a total margin of this much, which says 25 lakhs 42,058. Then I have something called as margin used. So if I have blocked my money into some of the other positions, so I have few of the positions open over there, or if I have made some losses, so for that reason as well, my position amount can be blocked. So whenever you take a position or whenever you place an order, at that time your order margin will be blocked, and that will be visible under the used margin section, and the balance that is available then after will be available under net balance. So total balance minus margin use will give you this particular section, net balance. So whenever you wish to place a fresh order, you always have to check what the net balance is. Then we have something called as an M2M. This is the loss that I have incurred in a position. So this is basically the realized loss so that I've incurred in a position. So this will be even if you release the positions, this much amount will be blocked in terms of losses. So this is a total M2M loss I am currently incurring on all the positions that I have. Then this is something called as an instant pain. So we use Atom for instant pain. There is a premium gateway that we use it. And if you're doing any transactions to Atom, it will show under pain. And if you have done an NEFT transfer and the particular margins have been updated by our risk management team, then that will be shown under ad hoc, the way currently it is showing for me. Then we have something called a span margin and an exposure margin. So if you're dealing in a futures or an options contract, so basically on a futures contract and an option writing contract, then a full margin is blocked, like a span margin and an exposure margin. So we normally show the bifurcations of the entire span plus exposure margin into this section. So if you have multiple positions open in the position book, so the combined span margin and exposure margin will be available into this section. Now from this section itself, you can do the funds pane as well. So that has been added now. So you can click on the add funds section and it will show me both the banks. I currently have two banks linked to my account. So I have a State Bank and I have an HDFC Bank. I need to enter the amount. So the criteria of what we have said is like your basically by atom it is set is like you cannot input anything lesser than 100. If you input anything lesser than 100, then it will give you this particular reason. And if you input anything more than 10 lakhs, then this will give you this particular. So we would be stopping you if you're entering a maximum or a minimum limit. So currently if I do if I just enter 200 over here and I click on add funds, it will open a new pop-up. It will tell me, ask me that whether you have blocked the pop-ups. So currently I have blocked it. So I'll click on this. I'll click on allow always. I click on finished. I'll click on add funds again. I need to enter a amount. And a new particular tab will open. I have created, I have selected SBI, I guess. So this particular page I'll get when once I log in into this, I make the payments. So I'll just show you what shows into the Upstox section at the time when I am currently doing my payments with the bank. So this is how it shows. So once if I cancel, even if I cancel this, it will show me a transaction cancel message on Upstox. If the transaction is successful, I will get a transaction successful message and I can just click on OK. And I can see the particular funds under the funds pane section. Now, one thing that whenever you do a paint through Atom, so it takes nearly about 30 seconds to 1 minute for the funds to get reflected. So for that we have a refresh button over here. You can just start clicking on this button and in a minute it will show you under this. You don't have to close and open it again. You can just use the refresh button. Now currently we have not added the functionality of withdrawing, so that will be available soon with this option. So this is what the platform that you have just seen is available for trading. So now this we have just created a trading panel as of now with fixed widgets. So we are going to add features in the coming time. So if you're just following us, then you can see that every 15 days we do give a release of some or the other thing. So in the coming 3 to 6 months, you will be getting a lot of features. So something uh, like top movers or top gainers, and that kind of features. And currently, I'm just going to show you what our currently developers are working at. I'll just open a different branch. So this is my development branch, and basically we are currently working on a concept. If you can just see over here, all the widgets are fixed, so you cannot move any of the widgets. So that is what we are currently working on. If you can see, this is one widget that has been created. So this is currently my development branch. So I can add multiple widgets in this, and this one widget I added, if I want to add multiple charts, then even that is possible. I can just arrange it as in how I want. So these are like 4 charts, 2 charts. I'm adding one more chart. I want to keep this on the extreme right, then even that is possible. So I'm if you are using a multi-monitor screen, now currently I am currently presenting this in a laptop view, that is like a 14 or 15-inch screen. So if you have a bigger monitor or a multi-monitor screen, then you'll be able to see all the three charts or the four charts or whatever you would like to arrange it in. So I am adding one more chart. So I want to place this chart over here, so even that is possible. So this is completely customizable. So even if you want to increase the watch list size, even that is possible. So currently, if you can see this in this Upstox, you won't be able to reorder the columns. You won't be able to hide the columns. But with the development, the current floating widgets, you'll be able to do that. Currently we have not activated that sections, but that is something that is doable. So you can set your preferences that what all columns are important for you. If you feel that as a user with price change and percentage, you feel that open, high, low, close is also important for you, so you can just hide all this, or you can just remove this, or you can just keep this at the back and you can add those columns over here. So that is completely customizable. Even if you can just move this. If you want to add order book in this session, even that is fine. If you want multiple charts, you can add as many charts as you want. Currently we are going set a limit of 4, so you can add that many charts. So even that is possible. So this is what we are currently working on. So this will give you a lot of flexibility, as this can be customized at your end. So this is what will be available in a month from now. So we are currently working on this. So yeah. So this is something that will be available in a month from now. So if I want to move, if you want to just see how it works, so I can scroll it vertically as well. I can move to do this horizontally as well. So that differs from your screen size. So currently my view is small, so this is how it is showing me. If you have a bigger screen, you have a multi-monitor screen, this is how you can set up. And the only thing we wanted to show this was like, this is not on a desktop, this is on a web version, and moving widgets on a web version with a multi-screen, it is possible, and we will be doing this. And you can do everything on a web itself. So even if you log in from a different location, even that is fine. So this is currently what we are working on, and this will be available in a month. So this video will be available on YouTube as well. So even if you feel that you have missed any of the things in this video, the same YouTube link you're using, you can check in that. We also update the same into our channel, and you can just refer to that, and you can just write whatever questions you have. You can just write in the comment section, and we will be again replying to those particular questions. So thank you for attending today's session. So we will be always be sending you emails if we have any of the webinar schedule. So thank you for attending. Have a great day.